Hey, welcome back. This is Nick and Noah, Beer and Banter today.
Yeah.
We're going to drink some beers and chat with you guys. So we came up with this plan. March Madness in the sports world kind of helped a little bit with that. But we want to take all of our best lists and create a single elimination sports style bracket, which we have made.
Yeah.
We won't zoom in on this. Basically, we'll tell you each matchup, and with the power of editing, it'll be on the screen.
It'll be great.
So keep in mind, every one of these, when we say the name of the army, it's the strongest possible army we can make.
With what we own or are willing to quickly buy and paint.
Yes, so how we have these ranked are not going to be how powerful they are in the grand scheme of the game right now. It's just how strong our painted personal armies are.
Right.
So we tried to separate the strongest into different divisions of the bracket so they're not facing right away.
We randomized it a bit, but like we decided Imperium shouldn't play Imperium round one, so we split all of them up. And we actually, I think we had a total of like 19 armies, so we ended up cutting a few. We had to do a 16-person bracket. No buys, that's no fun.
Yeah.
And I think our next step up would have been to do 24, so we're a little bit short of that goal. I don't even know
40K, yeah. This would be really hard to do with AOS. We don't have enough. So we'll start with this first bracket, or first division of the bracket, and it's some good matchups. It starts with Dark Angels versus Necrons.
Yes.
Keep in mind, guys, we're basically giving you a glimpse of our next 15 battle reports.
Yeah, probably take a few months to film all these. We'll sprinkle in some other stuff, Crusade,
AOS,
that kind of stuff throughout it. But
Kill Team, any
there should be,
things like that.
Should be about one of these a week coming out.
Yes, and Dark Angels versus Necrons. We all know how powerful Dark Angels are. Necrons kind of had their moment for a little bit.
And it is still Deathwing, mainly.
Yeah, still Deathwing.
Not a mixed wing, not...
I don't have enough Ravenwing painted yet. That's more of a long-term process right now. But there is a very large Ravenwing army right over there on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's just not painted.
Soon.
So it'll come, but not till after this long tournament is done.
Yeah.
The next one's kind of a fun one. This is hard to make this decision.
It'll be weird.
The Custodes are playing the Orcs. So they're actually elite Orcs.
Yeah,
so
it's all mech'd up, so it'll be interesting, with the Custodes we have. And they actually, to get them to 2,000, because we're doing 2,000 points, obviously.
Painted,
we had to bring all 4 assassins.
Which is awesome. That's going to be so, I think
it'll be very... very hit or miss, but when it hits hard, and when it misses, you still got guys for board control and objectives. I mean, they can all deep strike, And
also at this point in the game, in 9th edition, stratagems are so important, and the fact that one makes you spend an extra CP for each stratagem.
Right, on a 4-up.
It's so good.
For the first and maybe second turn.
Which one is that? That's
the Calidus.
The Calidus, the female one, yeah.
Well, and I think their 0 CP strat will be awesome. Or maybe it's 1. But it's the one where when you kill a character with 1, you get command points. It's like cost 1, you get 2 if it's a character.
There's 4 of them.
And
that done
because you can use it once per phase.
Yeah, that's wild.
You can be gaining a lot of CP.
Shoot one with the assassin and then kill one with the combat one.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see how that part of the bracket will go. Dark Angels, Necrons, Custodes, Orcs, and then the winners will play each other. So you can kind of place your bets now. We wanted to give Dark Angels a strong one, and we felt Necrons was the strongest at this point. Because we didn't want them to play the other top army. We wanted that on the far other side so that they meet in the championship.
Most likely.
Theoretically. It's still a dice game.
Number 1 seed, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a dice game, though, so who knows. This next one's a really good one.
Yeah, it's probably the most balanced or even bracket where it's actually very tough to pick a sure hands-down winner for round 1.
So, really nasty matchup. Space Wolves versus Death Guard. So that's going to be really good one. Keep in mind, we only wanted Mortarion to be in one army, and because when I go to actual tournaments, I bring a Demon Soup led by Mortarion, he's actually not in this Death Guard army. So we actually have enough painted Death Guard that I can bring 2,000 without Mortarion. So it's big. It's a lot.
It's a lot of units. They're tough. They're beefy. And it's hilarious. They're playing wolves because if you've seen any of the other reports, they're all dreadnoughts. So the entire game, all the units will be -1 damage. A whole army.
-1 damage fight. We have kind of a rule of 7 thing going with the Death Guard. We got 7 Blight Haulers. We just picked up 7, or actually 10 painted Chaos Spawn.
Or maybe we'll just bring 7.
There you go. Make it more fluffy. And then, we can run 7 Terminators, 7 So it's fun. It's a good list. Without Mortarion, you can still bring a lot more.
Yeah,
so
I mean, for his almost 500 points, you can throw a lot in there.
Yeah. So that'll be a good match. The next one on that division is Imperial Fist versus Iron Warriors, the ultimate rivalry.
Classic. I mean, they even have like special stratagems for fighting each other.
Yeah, it's like the stratagem with Wolves versus Thousand Suns.
Yeah,
that's another army we need to get. Thousand Suns.
Yes.
Not this time. But yeah, Fist versus Iron Warriors, that's a super awesome matchup.
They're both shooty. I think the Iron Warriors have a bit more combat, but I mean, they have some mech, so the Imperial Fists love taking down vehicles and buildings, which 0 people bring. So,
well, Iron Warriors and Fist both ignore cover, which is just so fun.
Right. You cannot hide.
So that's the end of that whole side, because there's only 16.
Right.
When we go to the other side at the top, we have his Ultramarines.
Yes.
Which he has so many years of practice with. That's kind of his go-to for...
I'll finally have the hilarious plasma burn list with all 30 Hellblasters.
Yeah.
So.
And even if you didn't go a crazy list like that, it's kind of the thinking man's army. It's good at everything, amazing at nothing, and it's one of the only armies left that can back out and shoot, so it's just very flexible.
It's very good in that regard.
Going against Drukhari.
Yeah.
The new Drukhari Codex. So
it'll be tough, but I figure, okay, you're -1. There's ways for lots of rerolls. Okay, you're -1 damage or whatever. I'm only damage 2 at best, so I just won't overcharge.
Just shoot a ton.
Strength 6, -4.
You may want to supercharge to get it up to strength 7 because I'll be T7 with those Talos. Basically, he's discussing
Talos.
My Drukhari list is, I call them the freaks. Sending in the freaks. It's got 30 mandrakes, it's got 9 Talos, so it's all the weird stuff. It's basically like Frankenstein's Boogeyman, flocks of bat birds. I bring the Razorwing flocks, so that'll be a very interesting fight. And I do bring the new Artists of Flesh, which is -1 damage. So there's a lot of -1 damage amongst 9th edition armies right now. The next one is just a pure fun one. I'm excited to do it with our new Desert Mat. We have my Sidewinders, the Scions versus Tyranids.
Yes.
So that'll be an extra, kind of a crazy fight, because if Tyranids get first turn, it might just be over.
Right. Well, but if Scions get first turn, I mean, they're the glass cannon. They come up to you, they hit super hard, and then most of them die. Yep. But if you can have a 4-man Milta command squad, kill a whole big bug, which they could.
And they're 80 points.
Yeah, just dead. Oh, you're 14 wounds? Yeah, you're dead now.
Well, the Scions have a
the reroll order, right?
Yeah, the order that's just reroll wounds against monsters or vehicles.
Yeah.
So good.
You're hitting on, 3s rerolling 1s?
Yep.
So, yeah, it's
pretty good.
Tough.
It's pretty good.
It's gonna be tough.
And with there's a strat where you can land just over 5 inches away, so it's the D6+2 with all those. So the melt is pretty good with the Scions. I only bring 1 unit of them because I wanted my Scions to be as fluffy as possible. I have all the guns in there.
But they're still really good. I mean, a Baneblade in there is always fun. It's swingy, but it's great.
Yeah, guys, I say Scions, but I fit a Baneblade in there. It's so fun. So then the next matchup down is my Tournament Demons list, which in the past has had Smash Brothers, but maybe by the time we film this, I might be replacing Magnus with Be'lakor, that amazing new Be'lakor model.
Bring them all.
Yeah, if Bellacor's in HQ, then I could bring the Smash triplets, whatever. It's really gross. But so we wanted to put it against something that could actually beat it if it went first.
Yeah, potentially beat it.
So it's AdMech, and it's I'm painting 9 new AdMech models that are going to add a lot to the army.
Most likely, their codex will be coming out around the time we film. Yeah. So it'll probably be one of the last old codex games we film.
Yeah, before the AdMech book drops.
Yeah.
And then the last one's just a super fun one: Chaos Knights versus Craftworld Eldar.
Again, yeah.
Very fun.
Very swingy. A lot of random shots or damage weapons in there.
And honestly, we don't use that Chaos Knight list very often. It's not a very popular army in terms of views and people asking for it, but it's pretty mean. We have a new list, which is 7 War Dogs, 1 big one that's the leader, and then they also ally in a Lord of Skulls. So it's just like super corn. It's just fun.
It's great. I mean, it's pretty intimidating. Yeah. Decent shooting phase, decent at objectives, gives up secondaries pretty easily.
Yeah, it's actually kind of bad at secondaries in general. Getting them too.
Getting them, it's okay. Like, yeah. You can't do any actions, which is like they need to fix that. I don't know what they're going to do about infantry only or character or whatever actions, but...
My cat is breaking into the...
Oh no, Miles.
Run away, Miles.
You're not playing AOS. You're not in
Yeah. So, that's all 16. We think the matchups are going to be good. There's some ones that, if you've watched any battle reports or played Ninth, you know some armies are just so much better than others at this point.
Hence why there's no Tau.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It's also not painted.
They're also not painted.
Yeah, they're just not painted. We have them.
And I don't want to paint them.
We also have Harlequins fully painted. I just, we had to make some decisions, and maybe they could have replaced, like, the Scions, but I'm really excited about my new Scion army.
Right.
So.
And we'll probably, do maybe, if everyone likes this, do it again, or even a smaller version where it's just 8 teams.
Yeah.
That would go a lot quicker.
And we left out World Eaters because I personally want to wait till Berserkers have 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to be really good.
They're still good, but Chaos in general and Demons kind of need new codexes. Not that they're bad, they just need to get into the flow of the new game with the new core keywords and just kind of... the updated wording for all their stuff, basically.
As someone who runs Demons all the time, it's the oldest codex. It's the oldest current codex, but it's also one of the strongest at tournaments because their soup doesn't negatively affect each other, so you can just take anything you want. Right. Just throw it all together.
So eventually I think that'll be all gone.
Yeah, it'll be gone. I think I'll still be able to take Mortarion with like a pure Nurgle Demons army.
Or like what it'll be is like, if you take this detachment of just this, Nurgle, and then just Khorne, you can still get your bonuses. Like Space Marines can do that. They still get their bonuses.
They usually try to create a new way to do it, but also involving fluff. So I could totally see Smash Brothers being dead because in the reality of the fluff, they hate each other.
Right.
And one's Tzeentch, one's Nurgle. So I could see them being like, no more mixing gods unless it's led by Be'lakor, who's like the leader of the Undivided. So you can take all the gods. Something like that. So they need to get a little bit more fluffy with the demons because right now it's just too easy to mix and match all your favorite things.
Right. Which always will make you have the best or very powerful armies because you're drawing from the most rules. Like it's just how it works. That's why you usually see Eldari, Imperium, or Chaos on top. In all the formats.
I mean, Imperium,
like
they've come down hard on Imperial Soup, though.
They have, but it's still good. I mean, you still see people running, again, it's the older codexes, like Sisters and Custodes together, are amazing. But once they get core updates and new super rules that only work if you bring pure them...
Yeah, it's like, is it forcing you to do Soup to keep up with these amazing new codexes like Dark Angels? Or are Dark Angels like... Codex creep, but also taking away some of your flexibility. Like,
oh yeah, like my Dark Angels list is great, but it loses. I mean, it wins a lot.
It wins a lot. It has a hard counter, which happens to be demons.
But it also, has like one play style. Like I get on these objectives and I hang out.
Right.
I have bad board control, bad mobility, but I'm going to score a lot in a tournament setting because I plop on objectives. I'm super elite and very tough to kill. And if you come at me into combat, you're probably not going to do well.
So the reason I say demons are their hard counter, and I've explained this to a few people on like Discords and different things, is that you need board control and cheap units, which is what demons have. You need tons of spells, whether that's debuffs or direct damage, mortal wound, which demons have. And then you need units that actually aren't scared to fight them in combat, which are demons. So there's not any other armies that has all three of those.
No.
That I can think of. Like
especially with the reliability. Like all your spells, you get bonuses to casting.
Yep.
Like that's huge. Stuff
and then like, yes, you can do mortal wound spam with the new Necrons book, but like guns just don't hurt the new Death Guard. Like, there's just no good gun against them.
Yeah.
Pretty much, at this point. I think Castle and Robots with Wrath of Mars could maybe kill 8 out of 10 in one shooting phase if they rolled amazing.
And add the mortal wounds and...
Right.
Yes.
But there's no reroll for wounds.
But I mean, at the end of the day, what are they? Like -2?
Yeah, they're only -2.
So getting 3 ups.
So you have 3 ups, yeah.
Like it's
so
gross.
It's like, but I think the math is like with the exploding 6s and reroll and Wrath of Mars, it's like 17 mortal wounds and 47 3-up saves.
Right.
So it's like
probably flatten the unit.
Maybe. I mean, it just depends on what kind of buffs you have, because he can get protection from mortal wounds if he wants it.
Right.
He can get
it's
all
not
kinds
in my
of
list
stuff.
currently.
It used to be, and I cried. I think Necrons will have a better chance this time because he doesn't have the chaplain giving that bubble of 5 up against mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So that'll hopefully be a little bit more fun game. I know you guys have watched everything bounce against Dark Angels, but I'm gonna get through one of these days.
Well, and I think if they end up making it to the championship, your Demons list has beat them. I've never beat a Monster Mash Demons list.
Yeah.
It's too good. Granted, one of the guys I was
went
playing
to a tournament,
was one of the best in the nation.
Yeah.
So.
And you played me, that's right.
Yeah, I played two,
this guy.
the only 2 Demon Monster Mash lists at what?
Smash Brother Demon list.
Yeah, it was crazy. Of course, I get stuck with it.
And I didn't know that this other player was doing that, so that just means maybe I'll make good lists.
Yeah. No, you do.
I at least
got third.
At least I got
third. It was a good list.
Speaking of tournaments, he's going to one this month. I unfortunately have to work. But then I'm going to a big 2-day tournament.
Yes.
With 5 rounds in July. So I'll definitely be recording.
Yeah, I'll try and snap pics. It'll probably be mostly on my phone, but they enforce a pretty strict time.
Yeah, chess clocks and all that, guys.
And I've literally never had a problem with it. Like, no opponent I've ever played at a tournament with a chess clock has hit time. Ever.
Oh, I had a guy get down to like 2 minutes. But
I've gotten within 10. Yeah,
my army has 10. I'm always having like an hour left.
When I ran guard before they got their giant points increase, and I had like 13 tanks and 90 bodies. Yeah, I was taking the 2.5 hours or whatever.
Yeah, I'm the guy that rolls into tournaments with the armies that have like 8 models because one, my back doesn't hurt as much. Because whenever I'm moving hordes, I'm just like, you get stiff because you're doing it for 12 hours.
You need one of those like shuffleboard little pushers.
Totally, yeah. Now that there's no templates,
right? Let me.
I'm worried they're gonna bring templates back. I know a lot of people out there miss them, so don't come at me. But
I think if they wanted to like solve the template problem, because they just made them random weapons, I think you could just either make stratagems or like a relic for a unit or something where it was like you just get minimum 3 on your D6 hits every time.
Yeah.
Kind of like salamanders. If you really want to pay 2 CPs, you just do max hits. Like, they just need more of that.
Yeah.
And then they're really good again. Like, if you could shoot, like, because that's what makes, like, the, Helldrake so unimpressive. It's like, cool, maybe 3 or 4 shots or hits that, like, 2 wounds.
Helldrake can still lock up vehicles, but now vehicles can shoot into combat, so it has less utility.
I'm not saying it's a bad unit, it's just like Flamers used to be amazing, like they used to be great, and they're still good situationally. But now that like Overwatch is a CP, that's a little rough.
Yeah. So guys, we're just going to, in terms of, here's the thing, and this is a little glimpse into our world. About half of these still have a unit or 2 that need painted. Right. So we're scrambling.
We're trying to get and choose which ones go first.
We're trying to paint these as fast as possible. So, but still, to our standard. But the ones that you see first in terms of matchups will be the ones that are already fully painted. So we'll probably randomize it, and we'll be coming back pretty soon.
3 of those that are ready to go. Yep. 3 or 4. So.
And then our buddy Bryce is ready to play some Kill Team again, so we'll have some Kill Team on the channel again soon.
Hopefully everyone will get vaccinated, things will relax, and we can do our friendly local gaming store series more often.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
I've announced that on our social media, but we want to do a series where we play against the local community at the actual gaming store. So the audio might be a little rough if there's like people in the store shopping. But,
audio, lighting, that kind of stuff.
But it'll give you the real experience if you're still kind of trapped at home due to COVID.
And hopefully we'll get more, armies on there, more players, more point sizes, maybe even do some narrative or open war stuff, because that's always fun. We are just going to do the General's Handbook 2020 missions for this tournament.
Yes, as close to tournament as possible, because this is just at this channel we like to drink beer and have strong lists. So we play casually, we let each other have mulligans if you forgot to do a spell or something like that, but we still bring a strong list. We like to have some teeth with our lists.
Oh yeah,
it's hard not to, because then
when you've been playing for 15 years.
Yeah. So much of our collection is fairly strong that when we build a fluffy army, like maybe these Scions, they're probably going to lose a lot.
Right.
But they're fun to use, so we're still going to try it.
And they're fun. Like, if you expand it to not include a Baneblade and you had 500 more points of Scions, like,
Deep Strike
it's pretty good. Or like 3
wild.
or 2 Valkyries just full of Milta being like...
Yeah, and it'll happen. I need more time to...
Right, exactly.
Grow
That's
the list.
one of those armies that will get good, because they have good rules.
Yes. There's a lot of good AOS coming. There's new vampires coming that I know I'm going to want. Yes. I also just picked up Daughters of Cain fully painted. So that's
whenever
coming.
that arrives.
Daughters of Cain is coming. So thank you for joining us, guys. Nice little beer and banter. I'll show a close-up of this on the screen here in a minute. But that's pretty much it. I like the matchups. I think they're going to be good.
Right. I think it'll be fun, especially after round 1, because like obviously we'll control the armies that we're comfortable with and play a lot. Like I play Imperium a lot, but after round 1, who knows? I mean, it could be, Drukhari versus Tyranids, or like,
some wild matchups.
I don't know.
Or ones that are both chaos, and you'll have to use
Death Guard versus Iron Warriors.
That's
what am I going to do there? I'm going to pilot that list really horribly.
But even Death Guard versus Wolves, those are typically my armies. Right. So like you'll get to try something
Wolves.
new. So
it's
they're
nice.
Imperium,
I get it. I get it.
Well,
but yes.
Thanks for joining us. We got a lot of stuff on the horizon for this channel. We're getting closer to 2,000 subscribers, so
yeah, as always.
If you happen to be watching this and you're not a subscriber, consider it, because we got a lot of good stuff coming down the barrel. So
and that just helps us create content more quickly. The faster we see it grow, So
and we're going to try to get more people in, like we said, from the local community. So even if you get sick of our 30 armies, if you include all the demon gods, then you'll see some other ones too. And we're trying to grow AOS, but we need to see some views on those videos to really put some money into AOS.
Right. It's fun. I do love it. It's random.
So fun.
It's great. I would never power game in it because it gets too cheesy.
There's so many Mortal Wound spam stuff in AOS.
Bring a strong list. Bring a fun list. But
yes.
Don't copy and paste from the internet. Otherwise, you're not gonna have fun.
With AOS.
AOS.
It's so wild.
You
can really, really game this system with AOS. I know some personal tournament AOS players, and you can do insane combos that you could never dream of in 40k.
Right. And then you can go twice and do it all again.
Yeah, exactly. So a double turn in 40k.
Oh, you'd win every time that happened.
Well, we're rambling. This is Beer and Banter, but this is what we like to do. Cheers. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Thanks for joining us. If you don't care anything about this tournament at all, you're still going to see a bunch of battle reports coming up. So enjoy.
Then they're just battle reports.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.